In this video I'm going to show you how to stretch your hip flexors. This is a particularly useful stretch for runners, cyclists, desk workers, and can also help reduce stiffness in the lower back. So the hip flexors themselves then, there are two of them. First one being the psoas muscle, which basically attaches from the lower 5 vertebrae to the inside of the thigh bone. And there's also the iliacus muscle, which runs from the inside of the pelvis, also attaches to the inside of the thigh bone. And these two muscles are responsible for two fairly sort of major functions. The first one being flexion of the hip, so that movement there, and the second one being flexion of the lumbar spine, like that, if the hip is fixed. So it's fairly easy to see then that desk workers or indeed cyclists that spend a lot of time in a seated position could have fairly shortened tight hip flexors. And also runners often over-recruit the hip flexor muscles, which pulls on the lower back and can cause lower back pain. And this is also, the sort of short and tight hip flexors is also linked to weak and poor sort of function of the glutes, which can lead to some instability in the pelvis and can affect performance. So there are lots of good reasons to stretch your hip flexors. So how do you stretch the hip flexors? Well, a lot of people, and a common mistake, is to get into this position here and then lean really far forward like that. And as you do that, you put an arch in your back there, and your lumbar spine, which is actually moving the point of insertion of the hip flexor forward. So you're not actually stretching the hip flexor. You're arching your back, putting a lot of stress on the lower back, and you're also putting a stretch on the hip capsule itself. So that's not a particularly effective stretch, really. Much better then is to come back, so you're in a kind of more neutral position to start with. And what you need to do at the start of this stretch then is engage your glutes first of all. So you're kind of de-rotating your pelvis, so you're pulling your pelvis back like that. So if I move my hand out of the way, you can see that movement there. So you start off with a glute sort of activation, and then all you need to do is lean that far forward. And you can feel the stretch in the hip flexor, which is sort of here basically. And that is an effective hip flexor stretch. Happy stretching.